He's even been putting up posters. Poor man. Losing it may be the death of him.
Music in distress. A local music teacher has been putting up posters in Central Scalario around St. Clement's Cathedral appealing for information about stolen Bible. Ah, they were just about part of side mission. Okay, so after all this running around, so what I actually had to end up doing was I had to go back to all, well not all, but most previous locations that I've ever been to. So here I had to get a cloth from one of Arthur's stashes. Then I had to do that chemical analysis thingy, and then I had to go back to the boat workshop to get this foghorn.
It might fool an elephant.
Mrs. Nini seemed to know her sewing inside out. I bet she missed us.
I hope Miss Nini won't misunderstand me.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, I get it. Wait, he just says, I hope Miss Nini don't misunderstand me. So Miss Nini is gonna help, I guess, create a doll for us. And hopefully she won't think that, you know, we need a doll to, you know, with perfume for certain activities that I can't imagine was a thing back in, what, Sherlock Holmes take place in like the 1800s maybe? But I'm not gonna even investigate that, so let's pretend that, let's just move on. Alright, so Mrs. Nini's workshop is right there.
Good day, madam. I've come to you with a special requirement. The tailors on the street can't help me, I'm afraid. Could you make a doll for me?
Oh, Senor Holmes. You taught the police how to do their job, and they found the thief. Of course I will help you. But what sort of doll? A child's doll, such as my great niece might play with?
A little larger than your typical doll.
Signore, I don't understand. Boy, girl, animal, and what color?
Animal, a passionate, perhaps amorous animal.
Ah, Signore, you talk in riddles. I am an old lady who's seen it all. Tell me what you need.
I need a life-size elephant.
I think Mrs. Nini outdid herself with this one. Is that a tail?
That's a trunk, John, but I must agree with you that it's her masterpiece.
Well, let's not waste any time.
Now, kids, I understand that you might be a little confused in what's going on. Trust me, I would be too. But let's just say that if you do understand what's going on, you know, with the fake doll and the perfume and then the fake elephant noises, move your little shit, then I just want you to understand that this is technically how farmers, wait, do you call a guy who, you know, handles some, like, barnyard animals a farmer as well? Because then you would call it a barn, right? So, but I never heard anyone call him barmers or barners. Anyways, point is though is that people at barnyards do this thing all the time with horses, and hunters do the same thing when they're hunting animals like turkeys and whatnot. So, yes. So even though this sounds a little, if frisky is the right word, trust me, it's been done millions of times before. Anyways, see, so I think we are in the right location. Let's see. Okay. What am I doing? Okay, even though I thought it would make sense to go to where we last followed the trail for the elephant, apparently my Jedi mind powers told me we have to come back here to the shed. So, fair enough, whatever.
The game is on.
So, what's the plan? I hope it all doesn't go horribly wrong.
We know that the elephant is seeking a female. We can arrange that. A doll with the appropriate scent might do miracles.
So you're a marriage broker. Well, I suppose that makes me a groomsman. Oh, she is a bit breezy, I must say.
Well, Goliath is eager for a single female elephant in his area. It should be just enough for his taste. You'll need to trust me.
Wow.
Are we ready? I can't stand the tension.
We're ready. Let's call the elephant.
Ah, we're working with the Popo. Oh, it's cool. Okay. Wait, what? Wow, this is a lot. There's a lot of option. If you were a chicken, you'd be impeccable. Wait, what? I'm actually talking to the elephant.
How could anyone resist?
That's so stupid. Told you that you had a nice trunk. Would you hold it again? Yo, come on. The devs obviously knew
I
that
knew a
this
lady once who said just that.
was kind of stupid. I imagine that this is obviously just a joke, and you know what? I'm totally cool with that. The other reason why I think this is also a joke is because like sometimes when you buy outfits, they have like a little description of it, and it's kind of a jokey like. So you know what? I'll let it be. I'll let it be. Do you like raisins? How do you feel about it, dude? Come on.
Too bad I'm not an elephant.
John, do you actually understand what this thing is saying? Please show me a night I will never forget.
Take your time, Sherry.
I'm trying.
That deserves a slap. And then a kiss.
And here's our lovesick friend.
Wow, these things are a lot bigger than I remember. Oh, I thought he was just gonna get it on like right away.
What is the meaning of this? Why are you bringing it here? I won't allow you to leave.
I assure you that it is only a temporary measure. It won't be long until the elephant is gone, I promise you.
Alright, so now we're gonna question Goliath. Wait, we actually might question a liar. Aw! There's some scrapes over here. What's wrong with you, poor guy?
It injured itself while running through the forest.
Oh, okay.
Peaceful and compliant, almost a gentleman.
Do elephant eyes really look like that? That's fucking scary. It looks like something you'd see in like an anime, like a demon or something.
The left tusk is larger and more worn. You're a left-tusked elephant.
Oh, do elephants actually use like one side of the tusk more than the other? That's interesting. Interesting. I did not know that. What do we have here? Well, well, well. You know what? We kind of knew this was coming up, but now we know it's coming up.
A feathered fletching.
Does that make any sense?
There's something in the needle. This might be promising.
Alright, let's see it. I found a dart lodged in Goliath's side. There's a faint trace of an unknown substance in it. Let's see, what is my amazing psychoanalytic? Wait, oh wait, hang on a second. 3 minus 5, 4. Hang on, so boom, boom. Oh wait, I just got the wrong one. Maybe I got the right one. Hang on. Boom. Boom. And maybe these would just have to connect. This here. Okay, so this can only connect to one thing. Boom, boom. Anyways, woo! Did it. There were traces of styrene inside of it. The amount could kill a human, but was not enough to topple such a large animal. Instead, it most likely aggravated the elephant, causing a fit of rage and burst of strength. Huh? The poor guy's the victim. He didn't mean to do it. Alrighty. Doing mind powers right in front of this elephant. It's a poison dart. A poison dart loaded with styrene was embedded in the elephant's skin. Obviously good. This. Both Arthur Swift and Paul Perks had a means to shoot the elephant with a dart. Third party used Goliath. An unknown third party deliberately shot a poison dart at Goliath to provoke it into attacking Theodore Gilden. Third party protected Theodore. An unknown third party tried to protect Theodore by shooting a poison dart at the elephant. Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like it was more about killing the elephant than killing Theodore. And it just turned into an accident. Goliath killed Theodore in a fit of rage. Goliath killed Theodore Gilden after a quick one-sided confrontation. The elephant fled, leaving Gilden to succumb to his injury. Execute Goliath. What? What? Goliath killed his own masters. Theodore Gilden nurtured the animal and cared for him. But the wild nature of the beast makes him extremely dangerous to others. I should inform Imogen that his execution is the only way to ensure safety. Oh, fuck you. No, fuck that. I'm not doing that. Save Goliath. Goliath is a wild animal. His captors are the ones responsible for his behaviors. The elephant requires a new owner and home. I should discuss with Imogen any possible options to save. Yes, I'm doing this. Fuck that. I'm not executing the poor elephant. Goliath is a wild animal. His captors are the ones responsible for his behaviors. The elephant requires a new owner. Yeah, okay, here's my thing, okay? Yes, it's a wild animal, but if you are going to have the responsibility of taking care of a wild animal, then anything bad that happens is on you, because you are the reason why this thing is not like in the wilds or living or anything like that. Like, you have to take full responsibility. Now in Goliath's case, it seemed like he was really chill with Theodore, right? Even though Imogen, his daughter, didn't really like Goliath, Goliath was just, you know, he was chill, right? And then someone shot him in the ass, well, in the side, let's say, shot his ass, and with a dart that poisoned Goliath, which I assume was an attempt to actually kill the elephant, but instead it only pissed him off, and Theodore just so happens to be right in front of Goliath when he was in a fit of rage, and Goliath killed Theodore. Not intentionally, but I mean, it's what happens. So that's my stance on it, personally. Yeah, this game is definitely gonna like make people like know who I am, but that's how I see it. That's just me. Whoops. Let's go with it. Alright, we're saving Goliath, baby. Okay. See if anything changes. No. Alright. Okay. So we know Goliath killed Theodore, but we also know that he's going to be saved. Alright. Okay. Wait, what? This opened up a new case? Okay. Goliath may have been provoked. The dart shot at Goliath may have provoked the beast into violent rage. Yeah, that sounds likely. Goliath may have killed Theodore. The elephant Goliath may have attacked Theodore in order to break free. That just sounds stupid. I definitely think it might be that. Well, then again, this is also... Unless I use this. And use this. Ah! This has opened up a new theory. Arthur Swift killed Theodore Gilden. Arthur Swift used Goliath to kill Theodore Gilden. A shot with a poison dart enraged Goliath and it attacked his owner. Arthur Swift managed to secure control over the dig site and everything still found. That makes sense because Arthur wanted to save the past, you know, the Roman site, while Theodore he wanted to build, I guess, a bathhouse or whatever, like above the environment. Yeah. And so Arthur must have used the dart to kill off, shoot Goliath, to frame Goliath into making people think that Goliath is just a wild animal to kill Theodore. Oh my god, it makes so much sense. Oh man, you know, it feels so good to be smart. So arrest Arthur and free Goliath. Arthur Swift used the elephant Goliath to kill his former partner Theodore Gilden. Arthur was ready to sacrifice others for his own well-being. Such cruelty towards humans and animals should be, yeah, that's fucked up. But I'm just gonna read the other one just so you know we can get the context. Let Arthur go? No. And execute Goliath? Hell no. Arthur Swift is the victim of Theodore's greed. He tried to protect humanity's history from those that would privatize or discard it. I will let Goliath take the blame for that golden death. Dude, I do not feel like a Sherlock. You know, I have to start reading up on Sherlock's Holmes. Because if there's a story where Sherlock actually let the suspect go, I would want to read it, whether it was, you know, an obvious reason to let him go or a disobvious reason. But I want to read up on that, because the fact that the devs are giving you the options to either let a murderer go free and let it be framed on an animal is something to me. Like, there has to be a reason to that. But obviously, not only that, you know, this is how I would think that. Like, okay, let me rephrase that. Obviously, we're going to arrest Arthur and free Goliath. That's all that needs to be said. Arrest Arthur and free Goliath. Arthur Swift used the elephant Goliath to kill his former partner. Alright, here we go. That makes so much sense. Oh, man. Wait, what? This just opened up another new theory? Paul Perks killed Theodore Gilden. Paul Perks killed Theodore Gilden using Goliath. Paul used an air gun with a poison dart to provoke the elephant. Agitated and scared the animal attacked Mr. Gilden. With Theodore gone, there is no one to stop Paul from being with Imogen. Arrest Paul and free Goliath. Paul Perks, an egotist with no regard for the lives of others, who built an entire career on lies, deception, and orchestrated the death of Theodore Gilden, used his own pet. Cordona will be safer without Paul being free. Let Paul go. Paul was the victim of persistent attack by Theodore. They were just... Okay. Alright. Now this opens up a new thing. So, we know that Paul and Imogen were together, and Theodore couldn't accept Paul. I don't know whether it's because Paul was a female or because Paul maybe wasn't at the same what do we call it, same social class as Theodore was. But regardless, love could have something to do with it. But the thing is, though, is that when we were going through the investigation, when we met Paul, yeah, Paul looked a bit rough around the edges, but I just don't feel like she's the kind of person that would do it. She or he, whatever. The point is, though, is that I don't know. I just don't think that Paul. I just don't think. I mean, yes, it's obvious that Theodore killed Goliath, but there's definitely a third party there, and it had to, and Theodore had many enemies, so it had to be between Paul and Arthur. Honestly, I'm thinking more that it has to be Arthur. Okay. Paul or Arthur? You know what? I just thought of something. If we have new evidence, correct? Before we make an assumption, I want to make sure that nothing's there. Before we make an assumption, let's go to Imogen and talk to her about some of the evidence that we picked up. Because I just remember that we can ask her about. She said that we can ask her if we come up with any evidence. Then hopefully that will help us clear. Though I don't think that like she's gonna outright tell us that if she knew that Paul did it, that she would, that you know she was the murderer. But we'll see. Wait, whoa, what? You were right about Goliath.
I have to leave you for now.
I don't know what that means. Alright. I'm gonna be straight up honest, right? This is probably a case where we know that Goliath is the one that did the murder. But we know that there was a third party. The thing is, between Arthur and Paul, both have the correct motives to, you know, shoot Goliath and to enrage him. Paul and Arthur both had darts. But here's the thing that gets me though, right? If you remember Paul, she works by the boatyard. She's a yachter, right? Correct? We found a boat knife, or one of those knives that sailors use to cut ropes. And you would of course use it, you know, when you attach the boat to the pier. Arthur, on the other hand, he has a book demonstrating elephant behaviors. So, I don't know, man. This is like the one case where if I really had to make a decision, I think I would just have to, I think I would choose Arthur. So, I mean, I don't know, just like I said, like, there's something in my gut, it's like, it's pretty much like punching me straight up saying that, yeah, the motives were clear on Paul, but I think if they had be between the two, Arthur would be the most likely. So, then again, Paul is more of a criminal because she was like a smuggler of drugs or something, and the dart had drugs in it. But, yeah, I think this is going to be one of those cases where the conclusion is really up to the player. That's just how I see it. So let's go to the Mind Palace, and yeah. Alright, so I guess we will have to go all the way back to the construction site and confront Arthur. So, the question, you know, did Arthur deny that when I asked him about the boat knife? I don't think he denied it. Of course, again, look, he is by sea too, so he would probably be using it, I don't know. Maybe not. This is definitely one of those cases where it's like there's so many possibilities yet.
Stop shirking. Get dressed.
Yeah,
Properly
I
and come
mean,
inside.
none of it is clear, but I think it probably would have to do Arthur. So.
Stop.
I kind of like, I don't know, like, like I feel like if this was real life, someone would probably be doing the same thing. But this case would be like everlasting, like it would be going on for years continuously between Arthur and Paul.
I've nothing to add.
As far as I can tell, you're a man of the academic world, so this book about Mabe and Laura is just an empirical study?
What? That nonsense? I'd prefer to lose my eyesight than read such trash.
So, you know nothing about it?
I know nothing. I wish I'd never heard of it in the first place. This caricature of science.
Do I hear traces of envy? You're still relatively young that you might find your own Laura.
Perhaps I envy Nabe, for I cannot simply blow people up for distracting me. That's all. You happy now? Wonderful.
You are guilty, Mr. Swift. Killing Theodore Gilden was a testing challenge. You succeeded.
What makes you think I'm somehow involved in Gilden's death? My partner's death, I might remind you.
Let me tell you a story. A man spends almost 5 years of his life locating an artifact. He puts every ounce of energy and money into his research. The same man even goes so far as to sign a contract with a ruthless man, a businessman. It was a risk, but the reward would be worth it. Years go by and there's still no result, so the businessman decides to end the man's research. He spits on the research, he promises to bury the site under an eccentric project. All of this is just his whim. Theodore Gilden could do anything he wanted with this place, and you were anxious about the fate of your research. You wished to protect it. You tried to tame Gilden's eccentricity, but you killed him instead.
Theodore wasn't trying to sabotage my career. We had a disagreement, but it wasn't as dire as you describe it. He wasn't a pleasure to talk to, but killing him? Nonsense.
Your dart uses strychnine to kill rodents at the site, is that correct?
Well, yes, that is its purpose.
The same dart with strychnine was found on Goliath. The very same substance is a powerful stimulant. It causes convulsions, a flow of energy. You shot Goliath. The elephant became extremely energetic, agitated, and so terrified that it killed its owner. For a man of your age, it was easier to hit a larger grey target than a small man.
You said it yourself. Goliath killed Theodore, and your strychnine speculations are absurd. Only athletes use it as a stimulant, not elephants.
True, but one dart of strychnine would not be enough to kill the elephant, and you knew it. You were there when Theodore Gilden died.
Nonsense. I visited him many times, but I wasn't there when the elephant killed him.
Then I must have made a mistake, because the murderer met Goliath's rage personally. The perpetrator was hit by the gate and thrown into the shed. Your bruise matches the contour of the broken hole. One further detail is that the murderer had a bosun's knife, fairly useful in a place where one might cut ropes and fabric, such as, I don't know,
The dig
the
site.
dig site?
That's your interpretation of the facts, Mr. Holmes. You've simply aligned them to suit your hypothesis.
It's not a hypothesis once proven, it's theory, Mr. Swift. Theodore Gilden was a capricious man, extremely impulsive. But the cold-blooded nature of your plan makes you even more dangerous. You feel nothing. You show no remorse. It was simply a calculated move. And that is why you are under arrest.
Nothing. You have nothing on me.
I think I'll let the police decide if my findings are substantial enough for prosecution.
This is all a dreadful mistake. This can't be happening. The elephant killed Theodore.
Goliath is innocent and he should be free. He is not the real murderer here. That is the apex of your career, Mr. Swift. Farewell.
I told you Mr. Swift was not a real archaeologist. He was a murderer. I knew there was something wrong with him.
Fortunately for us, being a murderer was not his profession. And about the elephant.
While you were busy, I've dealt with it. No thanks to you. I asked you to solve this wretched problem, but you didn't.
I couldn't be in two places at once, Miss Gilden. I was catching your father's murderer. But how have you dealt with it?
A man agreed to take the elephant away. He came to me asking for permission to relocate it to his property, and I accepted.
Well, congratulations, I suppose. That is one less problem.
Actually, two, Mr. Holmes. I found my father's possessions that you can take with you and disappear.
I appreciate it, truly.
Well, someone has to do something. Take everything if you need to, and leave me be.
Take care of yourself, Miss Gilden.
Well, there we go. Yeah, there we are. So another case in the bag. Monumental work deserves to be found and preserved. Perhaps one day Sherry would discover its brilliance and be forced to eat crow. If Sherry paid a little more attention, we'd have already figured out these people were discussing. I'll try again. No one noticed our presence while we were listening in, and we learned everything we needed. A perfect operation. Not only did Mr. Swift kill his partner, but he also blames it on an innocent elephant. I'm glad Sherry protected Goliath on her. Speak! Okay. Well, there we go. So, I guess we will have to read up in the next episode of what happened after Swift's thing. But I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, I mean, we never exactly 110% solve the case. It could still have possibly been Paul, but the evidence that we've collected pointed right to Arthur more and harder than Paul was. I mean, just because someone is something doesn't mean that they are not something else. Meaning that just because Paul was into like a criminal doesn't make him a murderer. That can be used into like real life world. Maybe a more better example. I don't know. Just because somebody's a priest doesn't mean that they're not a pedo. There you go. That's the best example I can think of on top of my head. So, anyways, thanks so much for watching. That was a long ass case, man. But you know what? That got me on the edge of my seat the entire time. So I'm excited. But tomorrow or in the next episode, we'll start doing some side missions. I want to experiment a little bit on what that's like while we while we spend our time in this game here. And yeah, also oops, sorry, I just hit the mic. But also I'll see if I can find out how to start the DLC side quest investigation stuff. I'm pretty sure you have to go to the Cordona police station and look up at the police board. But yeah, we'll see when we get there. But anyways, thanks once again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.